Brighten up those already bright mornings. Wheeler, Ollie, and Lecter. Mornings at the Cabin.
Oh, talk about your already bright mornings. It is sunny as out there. Morning, everybody. Ollie with you. Holiday Friday. Can you call it a holiday Friday? It's close enough to the holiday that you can just see it poking over the horizon like a gas station after a really long period without a gas station. I mean, what is it, like every month in Canada there's a holiday? Come on, who are you kidding? Oh, I've done 3 full weeks. Better have a vacation for a day. Bless you people, you've got it sorted. It's just me in the studio this morning. Mr. Wheeler is a little sick. Mr. Lecter has the morning off. Don't worry, he'll be back for the 90s at 9. We know that is the most important thing around here. That is covered off. But it's just me hanging out with you. And can I just say, if you are planning on going anywhere outside this weekend, anywhere in the Northwest Territories, well, you lucky skunk. Because the weather forecast for you is off the charts. Highs of 17 and 18 and sunny in Yellowknife this weekend. Inuvik, 7 and 8 degrees, but, you know, you live in Inuvik. Hare River, 20 degrees on Saturday. Fort Smith, 22 on Sunday. Fort Simpson snorts in both of their general directions. 24 on Sunday. Sunny across the board. You couldn't ask for more. Monday's a belting day as well, by the way. Don't forget Monday. Maybe that'll be my day for a little hike. You know what? All we got to do is get through a few more hours of this nonsense.
Mornings at the Cabin, the podcast.
Mornings at the Cabin. It is 7:11 on your Friday morning with a holiday hoving interview. Lucky you, lucky us, lucky everybody. Mornings alone at the Cabin this morning. No Lecter, no Wheeler, no Puppy, no Sarah, no other Sarah, the new intern that has confused proceedings by also being called Sarah. No, just all peace and quiet. Just me, imagining that I were actually alone at a cabin on this wonderful sunny morning with the pine trees in the distance, just relaxing on a Muskoka chair on the deck, wafting away mosquitoes and bears and stuff. I don't know. Canadian wilderness, that kind of thing. Exciting news yesterday evening here at Cabin Radio Towers. Got an email sent to me, the title of which is Yellowknife Preliminary Results. Now, what do you think that could be? If you've been pestered by a market research company in the past few weeks, you might already have a clue. As you probably know, if you've been listening to this show regularly, that was us. We are the big, bad, evil people who were behind you being pestered by a market research company, because whisper this bit, it happens to be a condition of an FM license that you need to do market research. So we were the ones doing all of that, and here is the preliminary results document. It is 55 pages long. This is the preliminary results. My goodness me, imagine what the full results document's going to look like. We're going to have to hire somebody just to read the thing. 55 pages. I'm going to read you an excerpt here. Don't get too excited about where this is going. I'm going to read you an excerpt. The results in this report, and I'm going to put on a very stiff British accent because it feels like it earns it. The results in this report have been provided based on a preliminary data analysis. This report consists primarily of data tables. The final report will consist of written text explanations, summary tables, graphs, and additional analyses. It is recommended that these top-line results be used for preliminary discussions only. I'm assuming that they're also happy with them being used on the air to fill space on a Friday morning on your own. I don't know. Anyway, it is important to review all of the data in its entire context before strategies and decisions are implemented. Oh, how little they know Cabin Radio. Strategies? Decisions? We very rarely have either of those things going on here. Anyway, the main highlights, and I will carry on here. Cabin Radio ranked blank for radio stations listened to by blank of the 300 respondents interviewed. Yes, they're not actually blank in front of me. There's real figures here, but we can't tell you them yet. And it goes on to tell me all the other radio stations as well. This is exciting for me, A, because I just like data and things like that. I get all excited when people give me information. That's why I'm a journalist. But also because, yeah, we haven't had this for more than a decade in Yellowknife, that I'm aware of anyway. To the best of my knowledge, the last time anyone surveyed who listens to which radio station in Yellowknife was 2006. And I think that was done, it might have been 2008. I think that was done by Vista Radio when they were in the process of taking over what was then CJCD. And again, it being a condition of doing these things, I think they had some market research done. Could be making some of that up, but I know it was a long time ago. This is, to the best of my knowledge, the first time that's been done since. Now, you think what's changed in the world of listening to stuff since 2006? Google is much more of a thing than it was. Google Music. Spotify, I don't think existed. YouTube was just starting to become a thing and certainly wasn't used to stream music on a regular basis. All kinds of developments. Podcasting was just about a thing, but was by no means what it is now in terms of being a viable option for, if you're deciding to go on a 10-hour car journey south. So a lot has changed in terms of people's listening habits, and now we have a lot of that data, which is super cool for us, very important. And I just wanted to say one more time, thank you to you. Now, in the fullness of time, once we've advanced a few things over here, there is some stuff in here that I'll be very excited to share with you. This is the worst teaser of all. You'll just have to keep listening to the show for like a few months more in order to find out. But good for you, because it seems from the data like you might have been listening in the first place.
A morning show without a podcast is like a poorly crafted simile. It just doesn't make sense. This is the Mornings at the Cabin podcast.
We've already got people here at Cabin Radio packing up all the camping stuff, getting ready to head out. We got people going to Samba Day for the weekend. We got people heading out to the cabin up here. It's going to be a ton of fun. Watch out for our Instagram account, because if you're not going anywhere this weekend, it's going to be insufferable. Now, I got a phone call at 10:30 last night from a number that my phone didn't recognize. I was just heading to bed and got this call. I thought to myself, who on earth is calling me at 10:30 at night? But because my cell phone is also the number listed on the Cabin Radio website, you never know. It could be an important news thing going on. I should probably answer it. So, very bleary-eyed, answer the phone. Hello? It's like a gruff. Hello, impress me. And this voice on the other end of the phone says, hey, it's Crystal. Thinking to myself, who on earth is Crystal? Crystal. Who have I spoken to recently who's called Crystal? Who was I supposed to do something for that was called Crystal? There is a Crystal in my life. They're on the phone to me. They think I should recognize them. I don't know who Crystal is. I sort of bluffed my way through it. Hey, Crystal, how are you? Please give me more information about your life so I can figure out who you are. And she said, yeah, I'm doing okay. I had a message to call you. And I suddenly realized Crystal is Crystal from Youth Parliament last week. Now, if you listened to Lunchtime News last Friday, or if you read our website, Crystal was playing at being a minister. I think she's about 14, 15 years old. She was pretending to be a minister in the legislature here in the NWT last week. She did a really good job. She did such a good job that I asked the people at the legislature, have you got like a contact number for her parents? And I phoned them up and said, look, Crystal spoke really, really well. And we were super impressed. We would like to get her in for a few days this summer if she's interested in broadcasting or journalism, just to show her a little bit more about what it's about. And we made the same offer to a couple different people, because I was really impressed by the caliber of the debate at Youth Parliament and the way that some of these teenagers were speaking and thinking and exercising their views. The whole point of Cabin Radio is that teenagers like that have somewhere to come and try broadcasting and journalism if public speaking is a thing that they like doing. So I called Crystal's mom up, and we had this great conversation about Crystal, and she promised she'd pass on the message, and I said, yeah, just get in touch if you want to come in. Now, when I said, yeah, just get in touch, I didn't really mean at 10:30 at night. However, Crystal said, yeah, she had a nervous laugh. I'm sorry about that. I've just come in from work, and it turns out she works at one of the local restaurants in town, and so had come in from her shift at 10:30 at night and thought to herself, I should really give that guy a call. And, the journalist in me actually elevates Crystal a little bit further in my estimation, because she's prepared to phone someone at 10:30 at night to discuss coming in for a few days to try out this whole radio and broadcasting thing. I feel like most people, especially teenagers, would be probably too timid to do that. I think my cutoff is 9? I feel like past 9 o'clock at night, risking it. Even the 8 to 9 window, you're probably not going to be thanked. It had better be something good. Before 8 o'clock, look, if you're getting angry about a phone call before 8 o'clock, you need to come down from that high horse. But 10:30? I feel like you're rolling the dice. So I was very impressed that Crystal had the chutzpah to give it a go. And there I was. It worked because I was on the other end of the phone. And with a bit of luck, she's going to be in touch with me. And you may well be hearing Crystal on the air a little bit later on this summer. So the moral of the story is call people whenever you like. And if they answer, it's their own fault.
Mornings at the Cabin, the podcast, where we cut out all the great music and you're left with the rest.
We talked about this a couple of times this week. Jesse Wheeler and tattoos. He wants to get the Cabin Radio tattoo somewhere on his body. The little logo, the little icon thing that we have. He wants that somewhere about his person because he's proud of it, which is lovely, which is great. I mean, great for him. I am also proud of Cabin Radio. You better not touch my body, thanks. But if that's how you want to show that you love the place, then great. I'm all for it. That we have temporary tattoos. Could just pop one of those on. But if you want to get branded with our logo, A, we better not change our logo for a while, and B, good for you. So, yesterday, we put up an image on Facebook and on our Instagram page of Jesse's torso. Don't worry, he's wearing clothes. It's safe to look. And we selected 7 separate locations marked on the diagram. It's kind of like a cross-section of a cow sort of diagram, like arrows pointing to different parts. It's how we really flatter our hosts, don't we? Anyway, we numbered all the different locations and we put it out to a vote and said, look, it could be on his forearm, it could be on his shoulder, it could be on like the upper arm, it could be on his hand, it could be on his stomach, or it could be on his thigh. Those were 6 of the 7 options. We'll come on to the 7th in a minute. And they all had numbers, and people have been voting in their droves. Oh my. If ever we needed to know what kind of content our audience would like to consume more of, voting on what happens to Jesse in his daily life turns out to be the thing you've all been waiting for. Because the comments, we had something like 300 comments or more across all platforms yesterday, just yelling options at us. Now, my favorite moment in all of these mad comments was when someone correctly identified that the option I haven't mentioned to you yet was option 3, which is his neck. And Tammy wrote in, on his neck, question mark, exclamation point. What's wrong with everyone, says Tammy. He has to live the rest of his life with that. I hope this vote is not the deciding factor. And that set me about laughing. Someone called Annie replies, have to agree, definitely not the neck. This just makes me want it to be the neck even more. Gentleman called Joe beneath that, wouldn't be a proper vote if this wasn't the deciding factor. Well, I got bad news for you, Joe. We would never be so cruel as to make the look and feel of Jesse Wheeler's body entirely at the whim of the Cabin Radio voting and listening public. This is very much a recommendation that the listeners are allowed to make to Jesse. We're not going to hold him down and make him get a neck tattoo. At least not yet. Anyway, we look forward to seeing the outcome of that. I think the forearm won just about, with sane, nice people trying to outvote the neck, which was very much option 2. So, well done to everybody who voted. Thank you very much. And we will, of course, bring you some video and some pictures when that becomes a thing.
The Mornings at the Cabin podcast.
I had one of my all-time DIY great moments yesterday afternoon. Here at Cabin Radio, we are an equal opportunities organization. We believe that everybody should build their own desk when they begin working here. So this week we had a brand new intern start. Hello to Sarah, who's listening. No, not that Sarah, the other Sarah. Yes, this has already become confusing. Sarah Wicks from Carleton University started with us on Wednesday. She's with us for a couple of months. So you probably already have read her work on our website. She's already had a couple of reports published, and you will be hearing her on the air as well. In fact, I think that will start later today on today's edition of Lunchtime News. So welcome to her. And yes, in Cabin Radio tradition, we welcomed her by providing her with a big flat pack desk and some tools and an instruction booklet. And said, there you go, get that built and you'll be able to get to work. There's a photo of this on our Facebook page, by the way. Every word of this is true. So AJ, our general manager, came in to help because, as I say, we're an equal opportunities employer. He had to build his own desk as well. Just because he's the general manager, you don't get out of this whole desk building thing. So everyone is building desks here at Cabin Radio. It's what we do. Desks and radio and memes. I don't know. Tattoos. Whatever. Everyone is there working on this desk yesterday afternoon. And now, if you don't know AJ that well, yeah, why should you? The man has a lot of tools and know-how, and is one of those annoying people who is, generally speaking, good at everything. Like, everything. Sports. I feel like he could pick up a paintbrush and probably be as good as, like, knock out, like, one of the less interesting Rembrandts in, half an hour. Just anything he touches generally turns to some sort of semi-precious metal. So, he's great at DIY. Of course he is. So he's there, helping the intern out, getting the desk built. And for the first time, possibly in my entire life, I looked across at this desk, and they were building the drawer, putting that little track on the drawer that allows it to slide in and out. And they couldn't figure out why the drawer wasn't lining up properly with the desk. There was a gap above it. And the answer was fairly blooming obvious, which is that the track that they had put on the drawer, they put on the wrong side of it. They put the track on the top of the drawer, should have been on the bottom. And I pointed this out. If you ever want to see the face of someone whose urge to kill is rising, find someone really good at DIY, who knows that they're really good at DIY. And as a complete inept moron at DIY, just lean over and point out to them that they're doing it completely wrong. It goes really well. Oh, he was not happy. By about the fourth time that I reminded him of this yesterday afternoon, we had reached the point where he was only half-jokingly threatening that he was never going to help build anything again, and it would all be left to me in future. So I, of course, consider that a victory, to push someone so close to the edge that they lose the will to ever assist the radio station again. And the intern got to see us all fighting with each other and generally providing a negative and toxic work environment. It was a great afternoon. Her second day in the job, I'm sure she was thrilled.
Thanks for listening. Check out more from the show at cabinradio.ca.